Oh my goodness, what's going on in Alabama right now with them passing the most restrictive, basically an all-out ban on women being able to decide what they want to do with their bodies when they become pregnant is insane. We live in a backwards country in so many ways. So basically, even if, let's say, a child 11 or 12 years old is raped by their father or another family member, they have to have that baby. They aren't able to get an abortion if that's what they decide to do. Or in other cases of rape or other cases of incest, they're still not able to have an abortion, even though that should be their right. That's their own body. They should be able to decide what they should have that choice. They should have that reproductive choice of either to keep the baby, give it up for adoption, to have an abortion if that's their so choosing. I guess the only exception to that rule is if there's extreme danger to the mom's health, then they're able to. But how insane is that? If a child or if a woman, either a child or an adult, is raped, they have to carry that baby to, they have to have that they have to have that child. It's insane. And doctors who perform abortions, I think they would get up to, I think, 99 years in prison for having that. So basically, they're not concerned about women. They're not even concerned about children, honestly, because once those children are born in these conservative states, there's high levels of poverty, there's very crappy education, there's not very much economic opportunity. So it's just concern for children in rhetoric alone. And supposedly conservatives all are about getting government out of our lives, and yet this is a clear intrusion by the government into the lives of women and children in some cases, who end up getting raped by either strangers or family members, and they have to have that child. And it would be like a constant reminder. I can only imagine if I was in that position, I would want to have that option of what to do with my own body, especially going through such a traumatic and horrible experience that would be. And so basically it's going to be challenged in the court system, and that was kind of the goal of it, honestly, is these conservative wackos want it to get to the Supreme Court, because they want the Roe v. Wade challenge overturned, which was the Supreme Court case, I believe, sometime in the 1970s, that gave women, the right to have an abortion, to have some power over their own reproductive health. And it's somebody, a commentator on Democracy Now!, one of their guests, pointed out on today's program that, if these conservative politicians were really concerned about women and children, then they would be supporting policies that actually made a difference in the lives of these children and women, once these kids are born. But of course it's not, like I said, their concern is in name and rhetoric only, and they're only concerned about pushing their freaking insane religious ideology, and then just trying to control women's bodies. So in a kind of push back against that, I think it was in Alabama as well, where some legislators introduced a bill making vasectomies illegal, just showing the insanity of, not letting women have the choice, have the right over their own bodies, over their own reproductive health. And you may not agree with, people getting abortions, and that's totally fine, but you have that choice to make if you are a woman. But you also shouldn't infringe on the rights of others to have that a choice, to have that option, to have that ability. And that's kind of what Roe v. Wade established. And like I said, this legislation is trying to get this heard by the Supreme Court so it could be overturned. It's insane times we live in so many ways, and just like we got to keep fighting back against these like religious extremists, these people who are trying to literally control what women can or cannot do with their own bodies. It's insane.